without the mutual consent of the parties to the treaty. And that's exactly is the spirit of, it's not deemed spirit, it is written in the treaty that neither party solo can terminate or amend this treaty. Now, this is most unexpected from any responsible country in the Community of Nations. We are low riparian. The established precedents and laws in the world and practically followed is the low riparians always have an access to the water which flows from the upper riparian. We are low riparian. Without going into debate in 1961 what happened, because there are certain critics, and perhaps rightly so. But all those actors who actually signed the treaty and were party to the treaty finalization are no longer in this world, so God, bless their souls. But there was a huge criticism that giving away the right to 3 rivers of Pakistan wasn't a very good deal. The water distribution treaties are generally evolve around how and what distribution would take place. But Pakistan actually agreed to virtually drying up 3 of its rivers and through that treaty. And now, they say that we are going to, by the way, I have tried to search, maybe you are great scholars, some may know, legos. I can't find the word abeyance in international treaties, dictionary. The suspension word is there, but abeyance, I haven't seen that. So it was just shock. So, as I said, that very next morning, we held our National Security Committee meeting, and we decided to still exercise patience. So we threw back the same measures on Indians what they have done to us. We closed Wagah border. We downgraded their mission here as a reciprocity. We declared that armed forces personnel persona non grata. We cancelled the Indians who were given visas and were in Pakistan and also asked them to leave. And we declared in no ambiguous terms that the holding in abeyance is non-starter, because we said it will tantamount to an act of war. We will not allow to divert or stop the flow of water, which is Pakistan's due share under the Indus Water Treaty. And in the National Security Committee meeting, we have made it amply clear that we would exercise restraint and we will not be taking any escalatory move. Almost these over 2 dozens world-renowned, as I said, Prime Minister, Deputy Prime Minister, Foreign Ministers. Even yesterday I spoke to Russian, I spoke to Malaysian Foreign Ministers. And they all, including UN Secretary General, the US Secretary Rubio, Russian Foreign Minister Lavrov, EU Foreign Minister, they all, when I speak to them, they all try to advocate that please, Mr. Foreign Minister, Mr. Deputy Prime Minister, whatever they want, they say, please restrain and do not react and do not take any escalatory move. I have told each one of them three things. Obviously, there's a long calls explaining what India did, what we feel, why they have done it. I just given you an example of Pulwama. I'm not saying this, I don't have evidence, but analysts say this could be another ploy. It might have been self-choreographed. How come in 10 minutes, the FIR is registered at a police station where you need to at least 45 minutes ride to reach? They completed investigation, they completed all the facts finding, they dealt with on-site, and in 10 minutes the FIR was registered. Come on, nobody's fool. And then what they conveyed, because obviously all these international dignitaries are talking both sides. Few of them, great friends, I have very good relationship, working relationship with them, suggesting me, can you try and help the perpetrators to be caught? I say, hang on, do you know the distance? Where it happened and where is the line of control? They don't know. 230 kilometers. I mean, you can write in 10 minutes FIR, but you can't hold the perpetrators who did all this business and heinous act there. Listen, one thing should be very clear. Pakistan has always and will condemn terrorism in all its forms and manifestations. This is our country policy. This is not now. When we fought against terrorism 2013-17, I was Finance Minister of Pakistan. I know how many hundreds of billions we had to finance. Even this was the policy decided, declared at that time. And we also declared we will not allow our soil to be used for any terrorist activity against any other country. The state is not involved at all in this sad incident. But, so I keep telling these guys, my colleagues, diplomatic colleagues, that listen, it is as per analysts, some analysts, that they say this could be a ploy. And why? Because India has been now communicating with us officially that this treaty needs to be, a lot of ground realities have changed. This treaty needs to be revisited. And we are responding to the latest communications. Two will be responded. But who can forego a drop of water because the future projections of water is said to be creating maybe wars in future? We can't give up a drop of water, which is our right. We honor, as I said, regardless of the certain criticism which was then, took place and which still people, but we are honoring the treaty in letter and spirit, and we had made it abundantly clear. So, some analysts, with hindsight of Pulwama, they translated this recent, year plus negotiations, communication rather, between the two on this subject, that this could be the aim, and they have demonstrated the aim by declaring that we are putting in abeyance. However, as I said, I have told all these friends three things. I said, listen, let me make your life easy. You are asking and appealing both the countries to exercise restraint. You're talking to me, you're talking to the next door neighbor. Let me make your life easy and resolve 50%. I said, we will demonstrate full patience. We will exercise restraint. On behalf of Pakistan, I give him a word, we will not be the first one to do any escalatory move or action. I think we can't do anything beyond. So when I say this thing, it automatically changes the situation. They understand. And I said, you have to work on the other side. Don't worry about us. I've given you a word. This is all minuted in the history and record of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And this is a policy decided in the National Security Committee, chaired by the Prime Minister of the country, Muhammad Shahbaz Sharif, attended by the Armed Forces, chiefs, the Chairman Joint Chief, the Army Chief, the Air Chief, the Vice Admiral of the Navy. So they were all there. So it's a unanimous decision to exercise restraint, and we will not be the first one to make any escalating move. But in case any act of aggression by India, I am making it very clear, including last night to Russian Foreign Minister, that in case of any act of aggression by India, there should be no doubt in anyone's mind that Pakistan will do nothing. Pakistan, let me tell you, Pakistan will resolutely defend its sovereignty and territorial integrity in exercise of the inherent right of self-defense as enshrined in the Article 51 of the UN Charter. So, I have given loud and clear message to the almost major countries of the world that where do we stand and what they can expect from us in case of. Let me also tell you something, that Alhamdulillah, we are absolutely alert. We are absolutely in a position. Our armed forces are, ready. And there has been an attempt. Between the night 29th and 30th of April, we had credible news of some misplay or adventurism by Indian Air Force. Alhamdulillah, we made them to run back and turn back to India. Our Air Force moved swiftly, timely, and made them to run back and turn back to India. According to our information, they landed in hurry at Sri Lanka, at Srinagar.